Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Woo-hoo-hoo! What a huge week it was last week. Bitcoin up approximately 22%, up to 77,000. It is holding up there because we're on a fundamental trajectory, I think. I'm not so sure, we're going to get some market maker or something take us down here from these prices. I'm going to talk about that today. It's not, of course, nothing's inevitable, obviously don't know the future, etc. But the probability and the factors to the upside, the tailwinds are massive, guys, and they're only getting bigger and bigger. And I'm going to paint out that picture today. So very, very cool. I mean, you're really after a defeater. What's a defeater? That's the thing, but everything's looking pretty good. So let's get into it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube if you're on YouTube. Don't forget to smash the follow button on X as well. We're live on X. And hit the repost on X. That's really gets it out there, and let's enjoy. Obviously, the Crypto Night Show, the largest pulse chain influencer, doing daily shows covering comprehensive coverage of all markets, in particular pulse chain, right? So get out there, folks, and spread the word. We've got a lot of influencers coming back into the pulse chain mix. It's really exciting to see. Particularly the last 2 or 3 weeks have really come out, and that's great. The bigger the army, the better, right? It's exciting. So get into it. We're going to cover all these awesome topics. I mean, it's a huge week ahead. Last week was amazing. This week is going to be huge, and we've got amazing stuff, haven't we, coming out this week? We've got the bond market. We've got a special announcement from the Treasury Secretary, 2 p.m. Eastern on Monday. That's in about 16 hours time, guys. 16 hours time around the bond market, because they intervened. That triggered the Bitcoin, and boom, boom, up it went. And are we going to get more and more of this, right? So we're going to get into that. We've also got Nvidia results coming up. I think it's Wednesday for Nvidia results. We're expecting 2x in revenue. That is the biggest company on the planet, right? And that is driving the AI chips. So big deal there. And that is the heavyweight in the Mag 7. So we're going to watch that too. That's going to be huge for the week. So positivity, exciting stuff. Then we've got, of course, the core CPE, the sort of the traditional headline number for the Federal Reserve. And then we've got Jackson Hole coming in as well with the speech from the chair. And that should give us the first real forward-looking clue or at least to firm up where he's heading with the Federal Reserve. So really big deal there. We've also got a little bit of extra other stuff like GDP and things like that in there as well. A little bit, little GDP. So a lot of big things coming up this week. Not only that, but we have the digital asset treasuries reporting on Monday. That's tonight, actually, my time. So in about, around about 10, 11 hours, we'll have microstatus strategy. We'll have Strive's reports. What have they been doing? Where are they heading? They're at pretty big crossroads right now after raising a lot of cash and getting capital management. And then we've got Tom Lee's Bitmine. Where do they go now? They're down to about 78 million cash last week. What are they going to do next? They slightly got, I think the MNAV went to 1 for brief moments of time on Friday. So we'll see. Did they end up picking up just a little bit of cash there? And of course, we are expecting them to continue on with their path, but definitely down on the cash there, but doing very well by buying back shares and increasing the ETH per share generally. Very, very exciting. So a turning point for them as well. Both of those, of course, are very important. So that's kind of the headlines. We're obviously going to get the Pulse Chain. Pulse Chain looking peppy. Pulse Chain looking peppy. I'm not talking about the meme coin, but peppy. The meme coin is looking peppy as well. But it's going to be a lot of fun. So I hope you guys enjoy the show. You guys know we'll just get into it. And without further ado, so let me just pick up the stock market. We don't have the stock market results, of course, but we've got the futures market. We've got commodities. I want to briefly talk about that before we move on into the crypto market. So it's going to be a brief touch on the economic data. It's so important this week, guys. It's what's going to impact your bags. Very, very important there. Your comments in as well. Let us know how you're feeling about things, etc. But let's get into some of the big details here. So we're going to jump over to the listed.com and quickly look at the measures there. On the right-hand side, we've got the tables of the results there. So we've got the US 500 is open for tonight, so Monday opening up for tonight. We have got the points up about 0.15% at the moment, so just modestly, 7,685 on the S&P 500. But let's jump to green opening potentially for the stock market for Monday, so that's bullish. Commodities, we've got obviously rising commodities, but they are down at the moment. $85 for West Texas, down 2.2%, almost $2. Brent oil at $90, down $2 at 2.2%. Obviously, Trump there stepping up, doing this economic war against Iran to step that up to another level, like a big jump. Obviously, Iran already in trouble, not being able to pay soldiers, high inflation, etc., etc. A lot of big deals there. And of course, we also see the US sending back, forgetting, was it the Junior? I can't remember the aircraft carrier, but sitting on their aircraft carrier. It's been out for 9 months, guys, fighting generally during that period. And that's going home, and they're swapping that out, I think, with one of the aircraft carriers from the Pacific. So I've forgotten the names of them all, but they're moving around. They've got 11 aircraft carriers, for goodness sake, and they've got another one coming off the line. So, it's another topic altogether. But so we've got a bit of a switch in the guard going on there. So that is going to be a big step up in economics there on Iran. Iran's not liking it. They're complaining, saying, "You do that, we're going to go big. We're going to go big." Usual thing. So yeah, it is definitely economic pressure starting to be felt in Iran now. All right, so that is kind of cool. So that's where we are with the commodities. So they are down a little bit. We want to get West Texas below $80, so we're not down there. We're at 85, so we've still got a bit of risk premium in the oil. Now gold is down slightly, $7, not much really, down to 4,673, and silver is down 71 cents to $68.82. Copper still holding pretty strong, down slightly though, 1/5% at $6.56. So that's copper there. So those are the big things. Obviously, we're expecting the Nvidia results coming up, and I'll quickly talk about that here. Investors will have several major catalysts to digest this week. Of principal note is Nvidia Corporation, due to report quarterly results on Wednesday, with its performance closely watched as a gauge of the strength of the AI investment boom. Obviously, also the big one in the Mag 7, right, the biggest company. So obviously that's what everyone's going to be looking at for there. We also obviously have the Federal Reserve Jackson Hole Symposium on the 27th to the 29th, where the Fed is expected to speak as well. So these are major events coming up. So we've got the Fed chair, that's going to be major, and we'll see where he's going. Obviously, we're expecting him to be more dovish, actually. And so we've seen the market move from more hawkish 2 interest rate rises back down to 1. And I suspect we may end up being, dovish, even possibly a rate decrease by the time we get to the end of the year. So yeah, that very, very exciting now. All right, so kind of cool. We got AI empowered Waved in the house there. Hey, great to see you there. Hit me up on Telegram if you want, or hit me up on Telegram. I think the links to Telegram are in the video description. You can join up and contact me there. All right, what else? Let's jump away to that. So that's where we are on the markets. So looks like we're going to have a green open for the stock market there. We've got major news coming up in the video this week for the stock market. That's obviously going to flow on to crypto with the positivity, etc. And then we've got a very important meeting coming up with the Jackson Hole Symposium from the 27th to 29th with Fed Chair Kevin Walsh. And of course, that could set the tone of the Fed there. But we've also got the inflation data coming out, right? So let's quickly talk about that. That it will feed into that, no doubt. And let me just go to the economic calendar. Actually, I've gone to the wrong place, but let me just go to the economic calendar, and we'll see what we've got going forward here. All right, so this week, and we've got the calendar here. We've got the core CPE on Thursday, the 27th. So Wednesday, we've got Nvidia. Thursday, we've got the core PCE. There's going to be very important, 3.3%. We've had really good data so far for the CPI, PPI, manufacturing indexes, etc. So if this is below 3.3, that would be very, very cool. In other words, the components inside it offsetting maybe any energy blip that we've had from the Strait of Hormuz back to $85 or so. We've also got initial jobless claims on Friday as well. That'll be interesting, and another PMI coming from Chicago in August 29th there. So the key one though is the inflation data there. And after August, we've only got I think 2 or 3 more inflation indicators to feed into that next meeting in September. So let's have a look at the meeting that for the Fed. Obviously, we've got the meeting, the speeches this week. So 3 weeks and 2 days and 16 hours to go. 17th September, the next meeting. 61% of the market expecting no change. So, gone to dovish, kind of cool, or at least neutral dovish, let's say. October, 47% no change, but, still quite a bit of chunk expecting 25 basis points. So this core PCE will be important regarding to see how these numbers flip. And then, of course, we got December there, 45%, the majority expecting a 25 basis point raise hike there. But Jackson Hole this week, then of course the core CPE. These are going to be key numbers of this week. So it is a huge week this week. So let's see where that goes. And we're going to jump into the crypto markets and see how we get on over the weekend. We managed to survive so far. Still got still a couple of hours left. 3-4 hours left on the Sunday US time. Sunday typically is can be a sell-off time, but we're holding up here, and no doubt why, because we've got this big week ahead, I guess. Very, very exciting there. So total market at the moment is 2.713 trillion, based on CoinGecko's numbers, up to 0.7%. So we'll take that. I think that's pretty good, and I think it's worth getting excited about. We got Bitcoin at the moment sitting at 77,312. That's the average amongst the exchanges, up 0.6% in the last 24 hours, down slightly in the current hour, but up 23.4% for the week. Isn't that amazing? So really good stuff there. We're going to talk about the fuel for that a bit more. Ethereum at the moment is up 1.5%, 31.3% for the week at 2,447. What a big move from $1,900, went all the way over 2,500. So a $600 or so move. Fantastic, right? It was a great week. We got BNB at number 4 at 1.2% at just below $700, up 16.9% for the week. XRP up 2.4%, 51% for the week at $1.48. Remember, with the Clarity Act, the Clarity Act doesn't really affect Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin's a commodity, but for banking, for all the other altcoins, Ethereum, etc., particularly Ripple, which is doing the banking. It's a big deal, so it just opens up even more for them, more opportunities, and so yeah, they got hit the most, and then they're back the most. So that's kind of cool because we're basically in a win-win position now, right? If the Clarity Act doesn't go through on the 15th of September, I think the market has it like somewhere between 15 and 25% chance. There is a lot more pressure on them to get it done though, particularly after this White House meeting last week, etc. But we've now got the insurance policy of the SEC and CFTC CEOs pushing through legislation, or at least regulations, I should say, not legislation, but regulations if they fail, right? And we've already seen the SEC already put out a regulation there, so we're on the move. Now, it won't be as fulsome as the Clarity Act, but it will still be regulations around innovation in crypto and blockchain, and that will allow everybody to get in, right? So we've got a couple of years up our sleeve. Or at least maybe multiple years, assuming that the Republicans hold all 3 parts of government, so or at least 2 parts of government for sure. So there we go. We got Solana at number 7, up 1.6%, 28% for the week, $94.66. Tron at number 8, down 0.2%, only up 3.7% for the week at 34.3 cents. Hyperliquid at number 9, up 2.7%, up 42% for the week. So a nice gain there. Down slightly on the hour, but is actually heading up towards, I think, record levels, actually. I think it was $82 earlier. So getting back there after that big sell-off. I don't know if you saw a lot of the altcoins had a big sell-off at once when Bitcoin reached 79,500, and Hyperliquid and many others were saw the big wicks in real time. I was watching it on screen. I was like, whoa, what the hell? It's always like that when you see the big things go down. But Doge there at number 10 is up 0.5%, 33% at just under 9.2 cents at the moment. Pretty cool. Now, I do want to give an honorable mention to Zcash, which has popped into number 11 here, guys. So Zcash looks like it's setting up for a big move. Obviously, the same players around Bitcoin, all that into Zcash. Obviously, it's anonymous, so it's got that benefit as well. And of course, it's up 72.6%. They got their first, I think, ETF opening up on the 25th for Zcash, so that could really start to fly, guys. So might want to put Zcash on your radar, have a bit of a deep dive that in your own time. But Zcash, they're looking pretty good. So we'll be following that. But it's up 72% for the week. May just be the beginning for Zcash. Get it, do some due diligence, I would say. All right, so let's jump into the top 5 in the last 24 hours. Well, we've got Morpho up 20%. We've got Pudgy Penguins finally making a big move, up 15.8%. We've got Lighter, which is a no-brainer, up 11.4%. And then, of course, that is kind of the Hyperliquid smaller competitor. They're coming up with an option solution soon too. But look at that market cap has climbed so much, 880 million. And then we've got Aave Lending at number 4, up 10.7%, and Near Protocol with the AI up 8.7%. So, pretty good list there, and a very big mix of players in there, isn't it? It's crazy combo. but all premium stuff, all premium. The last week top performers were Athena or ENA there, up 97.8%, sitting at number 53 now. Pump Fund, one of the big earners, but high risk, high return, 92%. A lot of people say underpriced. Trump official Trump token coming out there as well after last week, up at $83, 83.44%, but still only at $2.56. And good old Melania, what's that down at? I haven't looked at it, but it's probably down pretty hard. Zcash sitting at number 4 there at 72%, and Pudgy Penguins making a big move at 64% there. So some pretty nice gainers in the last week, isn't it? Good to see altcoin season alive and well, and some exciting stuff going on there. All right, so some big moves there. Looking at top 1,000, we got Puppers up. It's 1.6 cents. Look at the percentage here, 38,900%. So holy heck, it looks like is that just launched? I don't. It's all the same. I don't know why they're all so big. So you might have to double check because sometimes is this too good to be true? It looks insane. But we got 3 of them in a row, so that looks kind of crazy. So I'm not sure about the percentages, but anyway, your mum is up there, and Hex.com Diamond. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? That's at number 810, guys. I just saw that now, actually. That's on the old Pulse Chain contract too, on Pulse Chain. Richard Hart. So it's been a while, hasn't it? Been a while. So that's in there too. What's the range here? 5. Anyway, that's apparently up massive today on the old top 1,000. That was a surprise. I hadn't picked it up. I haven't really looked at Pulse Chain news this morning, but Hex.com, they're up there. Your mum up there too. Your mama. That's another Pulse Chain one. So Pulse Chain here dominating all across the board here. I don't think Puppers is a Pulse Chain one. Oh, it is too. Okay, Pulse Chain, yeah. Well, 3 Pulse Chains in the top 1,000. What the hell? On the top gainers. I'm not sure who's done that or how it's done or what's going on there, but that's pretty funny. Tell your friends. I might look at on X afterwards to see what's going on in that space. Trending overall, we got Elon's Space Cat up 242%, Ponds up 61%, and Pump Fund up 3.9%. So what a great day! And I don't know, those top 1,000 movers there getting pumped up by somebody from the looks of it. So yeah, is this Liberty Swap with everything going to $1 peg? I don't know, but it's certainly pretty big deal. Let's zoom in on Bitcoin. Bitcoin at the moment looking pretty. This is the hourly chart for Bitcoin. We're just scrolling across the top there, top 50 hours, and we're at 77,316. Recently, just a few hours back, we were up at 78,000 again. Pretty good, right? And this is where we topped out, right, at 79,500, right? It was back up here on Friday at 8 o'clock in the morning, apparently, whatever time this is on, UTC maybe, I don't know. Pretty bullish there. So that's pretty zoomy. I like going the hourly, is watching the action. Pretty flat, pretty consolidating. I think we can see that. 4-hourly chart. Let's have a look at the trader's view. We've got the RSIs coming up for the 4-hour, 50-hour. Look at 54-hour moving average. Look at that. It's coming up pretty fast too. Pretty fast, right? And it's at 70,000 now. And here we are looking pretty nicely. We bounced off 75,550, and we're back up at 77,000. We've been as high as 78 again. We're looking good, and we've got all this big news ahead of us this week. I said to you guys, I thought that we might end up getting a couple of weeks in a row. It's definitely looking good for that setup. What's the defeater, right? Profit takers, sure. Have to be pretty big, maybe. I don't know. We do get cascade falls once big enough players start falling. How many longs you're going to take out as well, those sort of things. But here is our weekly chart. Did I go to weekly? Did I go to daily first? Let me go to daily first because I don't want to rush too much through this because it's pretty important. The daily chart. Let's see if this pops up. Come on, you can do it. Okay, what's going on here? Oh, there we go. All right, so we've got the daily here. Now, I'm going to get rid of the overlays, and so you can see the moving averages. So the 50 daily moving average is at 65,391. We've got the 200-day moving average at 69,078, and here we are all the way up here, looking very good indeed. We have potentially got a golden cross coming. It's still quite a while away there. We've still got quite a big gap, let's say $3,500 gap to close. So still a bit of time there. Not so far for the Ethereum one though, is it? And we'll check that out in a minute. Let's go to the weekly to see our big time frame stuff. This is really stuff that sort of matters. And we've got a lot of interesting stuff on the chart, haven't we? There's lots of things you can go through this chart and give different perspectives and angles and stuff, but we're not going to do all that. But, we're at the 400 moving average. 400 weekly moving average. That's at 64,568. So we're what 13,000 or something above that, not quite, maybe 12.5 to 13,000 above that. Now the key thing here is that we've got a key target to take out, right? And that is what people are still holding on to, right? Can we beat out 82,000, let's say 300, just to be clear? 82,300. We've got the 50 weekly moving average at 81,247. So somewhere between that and this level of 82,300. This was our third. Remember, if we add our overlays, this was our third lower high, and that's the one we're trying to take off. And that would, people might say, if we can do that, when the bear market's being destroyed, the current thing is, as long as we're below that at the moment, people can say, oh, well, we can always come back down, right? And this was just some sort of, a bear trap thing. And so, yeah, we're still not out of the wood there. But here's the thing with so that's the downside kind of argument. The upside argument is that, man, we could blow past this in this week ahead, guys. Think about it. We've got big news coming up now. We've already talked about the Jackson Hole coming up with the chair wash. We've already talked about the inflation data coming out with the Fed and interest rates. Remember, low interest rates are bullish for risk on, and that's bullish for crypto. We've already talked about Nvidia coming out. That's the anchoring, the value of the Mag 7, and of course stock market and the AI story. So very important there. And we're looking at double the revenues, almost, not quite, but almost doubling the revenues there on that. I think it's 98% the expectation. So big stuff there. So we've got all that coming this week. We've got obviously a bit of manufacturing data as well. But guess what, guys? We've got the penultimate. What kicked off Bitcoin last week? Well, arguably the bond market and the secretary's intervention. And this is very cool. So we've seen some intervention in Japanese yen already earlier this year. Now we're seeing intervention in the long end of the bond market. And of course, a lack of liquidity. I mean, I think the market's about 2 trillion or so, but a lack of demand. And so the Treasury's coming in to give that demand, and to do that, typically, buying up the bonds and picking up where maybe Japan and China and places are dropping off demand, right? So it's great to see the interventions. This comes pivotally into Bitcoin, which is the debasement trade. And so if they've coming in saying, oh, we're going to increase in September $2 billion buying up to $4 billion, and of course then the market responded to that immediately, and then the next day went back up, and then the problem's still there, right? So what they have to do, they have to put more, double up again and again and again. That's kind of the idea, and that all pumps the debasement trade and pumps Bitcoin, right? So that's what Bitcoin was kind of built for. It's huge, right? It's huge. So that's kind of the upside story. So we're getting all these potential tailwinds coming up. The only real headwind at the moment that's out there is actually the oil prices probably at this stage. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So we got this little update here, announcement, surprise opening for the week, and that is Treasury Secretary Bessent to address the bond market stress in press conference. What the hell? This fuels Bitcoin, guys. This fuel on the fire. So you've got to make you feel pretty good, right? This week is just sizing up real nice. Last week was great, right? Last week was great. The White House and regulators all saying, yeah, whatever it takes, we're going to do regulation. We're going to pump, innovations in the United States. Hell yeah. And now we've got, so that was really altcoin pumpamentals. And this Friday this week, we've got bond markets and Bitcoin being pumped. I mean, it's just unbelievable, guys. It's a dream come true. Now, is it all coordinated? It's some people getting into that. Some of it's definitely coordinated, but some of it maybe just be timing as well. There's a bit of that. We got Sean says, "Good morning, up only kids." Great to see you, Sean. Up only indeed. Looks like another week of up only potentially. So yeah, Bessent called for a press sec conference on Monday at 2 p.m. So that's in about 16 hours time, maybe 15. Excuse me, I'm just going to sneeze there again. As long-term yields surged amid $40 trillion national debt worries. Obviously, US hit 40 trillion. I think I don't know what the debt clock's saying right now, but I think it's about that. National debt worries and persistent inflation. The Treasury doubled long-duration bond buybacks to at least $4 billion for operations starting September to boost liquidity. Boosting liquidity, guys. I mean, it's debasement, right? So though gains faded quickly due to reduced foreign demand from holders like Japan and China. So the impact was short-lived. So they have to go bigger, including military options. While the briefing will also touch on Iran sanctions, and so this is around this, the second wave of this economic war. taking it to another level. Analysts see the moves as targeted support without full quantitative easing. So really, it is quantitative easing, but it's not quantitative easing. You guys know. You guys know how that works. It is quantitative, not quantitative. It's kind of like qualitative easing. Anyway, analysts see the moves as targeted support without full quantitative easing as market remains cautious. So it's just more fuel on the fire for Bitcoin. So are you guys excited? I mean, it's damn exciting, guys. Damn exciting. Sean says Prevex ready to boom. Up only, says Sean. I'm sure. Sure it is. Sure it is. So that is pretty exciting. What a big week ahead. And you couldn't. Last week was big. This week's big. I mean, you just can't ask for better. And this supports the idea that we could get weekly candles on the Bitcoin, right? On the Bitcoin there. And coming back to our chart, is this going to be enough good news this week to pump us through this resistance and end the bear market, arguably, right? Get rid of this third lower high at 82,300, beat out the 50 weekly moving average. Looking really good, right? We're looking really good indeed. So that's kind of the idea there. We're on a pretty crucial week. We've certainly got big news this week. Let's see what that treasury is. He going to even extend that or give us some signal about that in the future of expansion? Obviously, I think he's kind of already signaled that they're going to intervene, and they're already intervening, but they're going to intervene more, arguably doubling down. So this should be even more confirmed at the meeting in about 15 hours' time. So exciting times, guys. Liquidity, debasement trade, and of course, this brings in a bigger picture. There are two things going on here: one, monetary supply and the US bond market, and number two is we've got AI. And AI, what does AI do? Well, you've got Elon Musk and all the tech giants. They're talking about moving to infinity production, like doubling GDP in the next sort of 5-6 years. This sort of crazy expansion. Now, I think they're going to be, it's going to be true to some extent. But you guys know, even these guys always, they get ahead of themselves. But certainly, we know that with humanoid robots and manufacturing, that's going to be booming. We know that production is going to go up. It's going to be huge, guys, with robotics in particular expanding. It's going to be a big deal. Now, obviously, AI too, giving all the efficiencies and productivities. You basically got, depending on the AI you're using, you almost got a PhD student there sitting there ready to answer questions for you in particular areas. That's pretty crazy, right? So not quite, but it's getting there. Now, obviously, there's a lot of problems with AI, with dirty data. That's the biggest problem I found, dirty data. And also, secondly, AI can't discern, has problems with discernment, right? So it's still lots of problems with AI. I don't know if it's ever going to fix those problems, honestly. It's because it's probably going to be crazy people trying to control what truth is, right? Change the definitions of words. Get books are disappearing, and so you can just change the digital definition, right? It's a pretty dangerous world if you think about it, right? So they've got all these sort of things playing out. And I think Elon Musk has even got a project that he's doing to try and scan books, not just scan books, but scan them with their I'm just forgetting the name now. He's trying to fully scan old books, basically, because he's worried about that too. What is truth? And we're in an era now where they're trying to, make lies the truth and truth the lies, right? So, particularly under the Biden period, it was very bad. So we've got all that sort of stuff going on, and now they're trying to scan books so that they can, have an original source as opposed to digital stuff. But digital is digital. We'll see. So that's kind of the play there. But big news, guys, coming up. And of course, as I was saying with the AI stuff, if we've got this sort of moving to infinities, and I'm not just using that as an exaggeration, but we're using into abundance is probably a better word. Then what is scarce? Well, Bitcoin is arguably scarce, right? So this is another case. Not only we have debasement, but we have this scarcity play for Bitcoin because if things are moving into mass production and doubling GDP, then we need the most scarce things will be the most valuable. And of course, Bitcoin is running out. Remember, by 2032, we'll have 2 more halvings, and we'll only have 320,000 Bitcoin left. The other side of things is at the moment, not only do we have an energy boom, an energy race to double energy, the reason's because we've got this intelligence age on, and of course it's requiring doubling and tripling, etc., of AI compute. That now we've got all these different forms of markets becoming more valuable as well. So energy, compute, power are all becoming increasingly valuable commodities. And those who win those races win the race, right? So you can kind of see we've got this big picture flowing as well. Bitcoin benefits from it all, arguably, right? Diamond hand in the house there, thumbs up indeed. So you're looking for scarcity. Scarcity is going to become the most valuable thing along with compute and energy, right? So it's a crazy concept world. It is pretty crazy, but it's not going to be as crazy having AI put into humanoid robots running around with a million humanoid robots running around. I mean, how insane it is. It sounds like a good idea, but it's damn insane if you ask me. And it's going to be, freaking weird. And of course, I'm not. I think the Terminator scenario has got to be right up there in the probabilities moving forward. All right, so that's kind of we're going there. We got the Treasury Secretary Besant to address the bond market. Exciting times. This is bullish for Bitcoin. We'll see what it says when it comes out. It's about 15 hours from now. All right, the other big thing that we've got coming up for Bitcoin, which you can see here holding up pretty nicely, is remember, there's not too far away to get to this level that we're after. So let's get up to that level, 82,300, let's say. That's only a 6.5% move, guys. It's nothing, right? And so, yeah, I mean, if we bolster past that with another green week, maybe we do another, or we did. Let's have a look at this week. We'll just do a bit of mooning here, but we know we did 23% there. 24%. If we do, let's say we don't do as much, but let's say we do 15. 15% would take us to 88. But we take out this other high, 26% to take out that second lower high, right, at 97,000. Let's say 700. It's game on, 26%, and we've got a lot of bullish catalysts to help us get there, guys. The tailwinds look very impressive as well. Obviously on the downside as profit takers, market makers. So it's not invincible, but certainly look at the past here. Look at these green candles, 3 weekly green candles in a row. This is a bull market, of course. We got 6 weekly green candles here. We got essentially 4 out of 5 of these weekly green candles, etc. So are we going to see that now, guys? Are we going to see it now? Let's add back the overlays. We are ticking towards the Clarity Act vote as well, but we have insurance policy, the CFTC, CSC, SEC for regulations. We've kind of a win-win. And now we've got all this bullish stuff around liquidity and debasement. And then, of course, we've got all the mega things for Ethereum that we're going to talk about as well. Now, the other big thing, of course, not only do we have, the bond market and liquidity, quantitative easing, but we also have the debt digital capital, right? So we've got digital capital. And think about the gap between this. So we got liquidity getting expanded, and then we've got a differential of digital credit coming from collateralized by Bitcoin. Bitcoin's getting pumped by liquidity, and then you've got this dividend yield at 11, 12, 13%. And of course, the bond markets, you're looking at 2-4%, something like that, maybe. Private credit maybe 6 to 8%. And so you got this differential expanding, right? So you got the collateral expanding, and you got the interest differentials expanding. So you're kind of in the Goldie zone, and then you've got the scarcity problem versus abundance, right? So it's just Bitcoin's getting set up for the biggest re-rate, and then you've also got a bit of rotation out of AI, right? AI at record highs, and Bitcoin and a bear market, right? So you've got this beautiful setup. Can you see it all? It's just massive. So it's really hard to see it to get taken down. What's the defeater? Like I say, there's always market makers and dumpers and shorts and stuff, but they kind of need a catalyst, right? They kind of need a catalyst, and it feels like all the tailwinds are huge and the headwinds are very minor at the moment, and they look like they're shrinking even. So pretty awesome. Imagine if oil comes down too. I mean, it's just insane. So hopefully you guys enjoying that, because it's unbelievable. So let's look at digital credit, which could play out this week as well. We already see it play out last week, Thursday, Friday, from Strive, right? So Strive is the number 7 digital asset treasury. This is what we got to do. So it closed at $100. So it's minting. It bought about 430 Bitcoin at least. So we're going to find out exactly what it is tonight when it opens up with their market announcement. That will be only about 11 hours away. No, actually not even that far. Maybe 10 hours away, somewhere in that ballpark. So pretty cool. About an hour and a half before market open, somewhere like that. Pretty huge. Market's opening in 12 hours. So would that be 10.5 hours, maybe 10.5 hours from now? SATA, $100. It's going to mint more. It's going to issue more SATA, raise more Bitcoin today, buy more Bitcoin. Positive flywheel style. And then, of course, the big juggernaut MicroStrategy, their preferred stock is Stretch, and that has still got work to do, right? So still got work to do. It is below par by $3.82. Is it going to get close this week? I mean, it could do. Given all that pump mental news, could very well easily get back to $100 this week. Everything's got all these tailwinds in the house. And look, it wasn't an uptrend on Friday in the price, so it was uptrending, obviously, with the price of Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's holding up at the moment. So if Bitcoin continues to rise, leading into the excitement of maybe Chair Walsh's statement. Now, if Chair Walsh does give us something a bit more of a disappointing, which would be kind of against what he's said so far, that would pull the markets down a bit. So I just don't want to say it's not tailwinds can become headwinds pretty quickly, but I do feel like it's just going to be confirming, and maybe if he does any further announcement, which may not be the case, but it should be the case given the fact that the yields went back up, that he might double down. We'll see what happens there. But certainly the fact that he's even talking about it is a very big deal there. Now you've got to remember he worked with Soros and did all the the UK trade and all that sort of stuff. They played the big games, and he's talked about just doing the talk, right? Trying to get the market to talk there, but he's already shown a bit of his hand leading in the direction of intervention. So I think it's just hyper bullish. So let's see whether we get back to $100. Remember, they can raise, within a 2 to 4 week period, they can raise several billions of dollars with the strategy stretch, and so that could end up buying tens of thousands of Bitcoin even at these prices, right? So hyper bullish, positive flywheel stuff, and just more catalyst on top of the bond market stuff that we talked about. So I hope you're loving it, guys. This is huge, positive flywheel stuff, really exciting. And look at the re-rate for, if they go to this quantitative easing, the re-rate for Bitcoin can happen real fast, guys, real fast. I mean, we could be back at all-time highs faster, not waiting for October, but moving much earlier because of all this news coming out last week, this week. And then we've got the Clarity Act coming in on the 5th of September. There's lots of tailwinds here forming at the moment. So very exciting. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. What's the other thing? We're going to get into Ethereum next, and then we're going to jump into Pulse-Chain, of course. Big week ahead, guys. Big week ahead. So let me just pull this up for Ethereum. Now, Ethereum's also they've got some decisions to make. We will find out what other decisions strategy is going to make tonight as well regarding raising cash. If they sell any Bitcoin, if they sell any more MSDR, all those sort of decisions. I think they finished 1-to-1 on the MNAV last week, so we're going to see what they come up with that as well regarding MSDR, the common stock, right, for strategy holds all that Bitcoin. So that's also coming out tonight. It's going to be fun, man. We're going to have a fun week, guys. Hope you guys hold on to your hat. Hold on to your hat. It's going to be pretty badass. It's pretty crazy. I just think it's crazy. This is so much stuff aligning up. It's just unbelievable. You guys are going to be happy, guys. Look, it's going to get very competitive out in the labor market. So if you're working out there, there's a lot of challenges coming up, not only with AI now, which is only going to get bigger and bigger, but as AI gets more advanced, but also, human or robots. We've already seen in testing in factories, and that's obviously factory context, but they're already up to 85% of a human. And Optimus 3 is coming out with hands that are pretty close to human hands. I think there's like 22 out of 27 different hand movements, something like that. So it's getting very close. That's a big jump up from I think 7 or 8 up to 21, 22, 23 or something of our 27 hand movements. I think it's 27 hand movements we've got. So pretty huge. Right? The human hand, clearly designed, right? This is not evolution. The hands are not evolution, guys. The ear's not evolution. Nothing's evolution, dude. It's crazy stuff. Now we have micro evolution, but no macro evolution crap, right? That's clearly everything's designed. We have little electric motors in our bodies, guys. We have little electric motors called the Fallon motor. It's crazy. Everything's designed. We got Hex Raider in house. Hey gang, good to see Hex Raider. Big shout out. All right, so let's move on. We got Ethereum here right now, $2,436. Not bad. We're going to pull up the chart though. And we got some interesting stuff going on with BMNR. Might be a BMNR. Now, we've also got SharpLink out there, right? Doing a lot of great stuff. They are pretty much permanent capital. They're reinvesting most of their staking back into Lido and other platforms. So, long-term capital, it's all supply-sing stuff. We've got record staking and stuff like that. So I'm just going to bring up that too, actually, just as an interest. We'll bring up the staking queue. And I think we're looking good there, just as a finished topping there. So we get into it. Yeah, without gas banging a bit there. So we get into the charts. All right, so we got the US dollar. We've got Ethereum here. US dollar. Ethereum there at on the weekly. But let's go to the hourly because, we like to see the action over the weekend. And the action's looking pretty good, just like Ethereum. Down a bit in the current hour, $2,433, but we, only 4 hours ago, we were up at 24.89, and of course we peaked out up here after that Bitcoin rally at 2,548. So we're still holding up here, and we've got the rest of the afternoon to go. Let's go to the 4-hourly charts on here. 4-hourly charts here. We've got the moving average moving up, of course, for the 54-hour moving average, but we're still holding up very nicely here. We've bounced off 2,356. Quite a range, isn't it? It's about $200 range almost. Let's go to the daily quickly, and this is where we're getting to more serious sort of longer term patterns. We've got a bullish cross coming up very fast, faster than, of course, Bitcoin. Remember that had about $3,500 gap to close. Well, this gap's closing every day. I mean, we've only got $60, $70, $73 to close this gap, guys. That's not a lot. So yeah, golden cross fuels the fire for the old Ethereum. Very, very bullish there. Now let's go to the weekly to see the long-term view. And of course, you guys know our target, of course, is to get over this third wave. This when we're on a bear market there, we've already broken through. We already had a consolidation channel in there, and then we powered up there, right? At the moment, we've also got the moving average for the 4-year, so 200 weekly moving average is currently sitting at 2,497. So we just have to get over 2,500. Funnily enough, we're just below it right now, but keep a lookout for that because that's only a 3.5% move. So it's a nothing, guys. Nothing there. Remember, Bitcoin was a 6% move or so, 6.5%. So pretty crazy. We've also got the 50 weekly moving average at 2,582. So it's not much to get over that either. So let's quickly look where we are right now. And that is a 6.5% move, similar to Bitcoin trying to get over the next target. I can't remember what target that was for now, but yeah, that's kind of the play. We've obviously got the SEC, the Clarity Act coming in on the 15th, so it's not far away either. So very bullish looking here, and obviously the catalyst there will benefit from Bitcoin catalyst, but particularly benefiting from tokenization, agentic AI, and of course the movement of finance and ultimately mass adoption coming to the Ethereum. Very bullish stuff happening there. Now remember, after September, we've got the DTC coming in October. That is the waterworks company for TradeFi. 114 trillion under management, 4.6 quadrillion in settlements last year. Just getting a fraction of that over on Ethereum is massive. And in October, they're going full production. July, they did testing, and it was unbelievably successful. And they've got an inundated client list wanting to get in to tokenize. So boom, 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 boom. This is going to be a big step change. And we're already moving up with this bullish news last week about the White House and the regulators giving us a win-win, and this week looking like liquidity coming in, and maybe we'll get a more dovish Fed as well, and good course PCE data. Nvidia does well, all those become tailwinds, right? Then if we have a great week like that, then up we go to here. So pretty awesome. And just reflection back on last year, remember in 103 days we had a 3.5x move in Ethereum. So massive, right? Massive. That was a $3,500 move. Pretty awesome there. We went from $1,382 all the way up just shy of 5,000. And we're looking good for that setup too. And very exciting. So some good stuff there. Now let's look at the ratio then. Let's look at the ratio from Ethereum to BTC, because you guys know that's been breaking out, right? It's been breaking out. And have been saying that, the application layer for Ethereum is with this mass adoption and the tokenization, etc., is hyper bullish, right? So look at what we're at now. We're currently at 3.15% of Bitcoin price. Ethereum currently at 3.15%. So just over 3% there. And look, we were all the way down here in June this year. We're down at 2.5%. So Ethereum was worth 2.5% of Bitcoin. We're now rising, right? And we've just crossed the 50 moving average for the 50 weekly moving average. And that there is at 3.1%. So we're above that now. And on that peak that we had on Friday, we got up to 33. So we got up to a third of a percent. Sorry, we got up to 3.3% on the move at the top there. So exciting times, guys. Now look at the, you can't see it here maybe, but let's bring that down. We got the 200 weekly average, so the 4-year moving average, currently sitting at just under 4.5% of Bitcoin. So I think we're just going to rise up there, guys. I think it's game on now, and we're going to see something like this play out here. But look, we could see this go well beyond this, guys. Remember, the top of the last 5 years was up here, and that was 8.8%. So let's just say just under 9%, and that was back in the 21 bull market. Sorry. So I think we're heading well beyond that, guys, on this move. So the re-rate, imagine the re-rate from 3.1% all the way up to 9%, and of course, Bitcoin rising, ETH rising. ETH is going to get worth a lot of money, 10 to 20K, somewhere in that ballpark. So it's just a matter of patience there. All right, very cool, very cool. All right, so let's move on. Tom Lee, of course, pointing this out as well. This is nearly a decade in the making. The rotation into ETH is starting, and of course, that's a point of that chart there. You can see a break of the downtrend as well, and up we go. And this person here is talking about almost 18%, Ethereum being worth 18% of Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin pumps big on this liquidity play, etc., and of course digital credit, those two combined forces, then it's up and away, and Ethereum goes up even further. It's crazy money, man, and we're talking about crazy money. Now, there's a lot of money to come in, so you just got to be patient with it. Just got to be patient there. We're not talking about this happening tomorrow, but certainly big re-rates, big step jumps in the charts. All right, kind of cool. That is on that. Let's quickly look at Bitmine in particular. Bitmine, of course, the common stock is called BMNR. They do have a preferred. It's different from the ATM markets that you see with a Strive and Strategy. They don't have an ATM for that. They have ATM for the common stock, BMNR, but their preferred stock is by issuance, and they already, they've got the BNBP, so that has been very successful too. They may end up raising more money using that, but they may just go to the market there on BMNR to get there to 5%. We'll see whether they go preferred. Probably preferred at this stage. If you're over 1 MNAV, you're probably likely to go preferred, and if you're below 1 MNAV, maybe if you're then you'd likely pay back shares, right? So either way, you probably go preferred, but you want to buy back more shares, kind of the play. So we'll watch out for this week. It's going to be very important there. Now that they're down to 78 million on cash last week, what are they going to do, right? They did slightly get to MNAV of 1 over the weekend. I'm not sure if it was on Friday. I think it may have been briefly. So they may have been able to tap the ATM market. We'll see on that one. That basically means issue more BMNR shares, raise cash. But so far they've been paying down, buying back shares over the last 5 weeks because MNAV has been below 1. Now, at the current time as we're speaking, given where ETH is at this very moment, the MNAV is at 0.97. So it will be interesting to see how that opens up tonight as well. In other words, it's basically, the underlying assets, the ETH there is 3% cheaper than the share price is 3% cheaper than the actual assets are held. All right, so there's a bit of a discount. You're getting ETH a bit cheaper, 3% cheaper, let's say, is the kind of the argument there. So we'll be watching this. Obviously, we're expecting these to be big leverage plays. The MNAV, might go up, when we get a run on ETH up to these big numbers that we're talking about. We could get an MNAV up to 2, and maybe if the market overshoots again and goes to 3, 4 MNAV, that'd be crazy, but definitely plausible under the right circumstances. But certainly this is true for strategy and everything else as well. So obviously Bitmine is the number 1 digital asset treasury for Ethereum. Sharplink or SBET is the number 2. Both of these two are the most active. Unlike Bitcoin has heaps of active DATs. Ethereum had lots last year, but they all died away pretty much, didn't they? I'm sure we'll get some more, but at the moment these two are the kingpins, right? And these are also the ones that are funding the offensive move for Ethereum to get commercialization and success and win the game on Ethereum with all their new nodes that they've set up, ETH Institutional, ETH Labs, etc., along with ETH Foundation. So, they're leading the way. They're putting their money in there. Sharplink in particular is going permanent capital. In other words, a lot of their staked ETH comes back and goes back into the system, like Lido, etc. And so it's exciting stuff. So we're getting a lot of supply getting off the market. Now, talking about that, you guys know the amount of ETH on the markets has been falling dramatically since the DATs came in last year, June. It's fallen from about 21.5 million ETH on exchanges down to currently where it is now, I think around 15.5 million. That may be even smaller today. I don't know. We'll have to check, but we're somewhere in that ballpark. So it's down, 5-6 million ETH off the exchanges. And the other thing we've also seen, not as ETH off the exchanges making it rarer, but also it's more scarce because people are staking all their ETH, right? And we've particularly got these digital asset treasuries which are going, along. They're sunk long ETH. They're not expected to really sell their purchased ETH. They might sell some of their staked ETH, of course, for operations and dividends and things like that potentially, particularly Bitmine. Maybe not so much Sharplink. Yeah, it's pretty much permanent capital. And look at the validated queue. So at the moment, we've got the entry there, 2.2 million ETH still going through the validated queue to stake, and we've got virtually nothing coming out, right? Look at that, a 32 ETH coming out. I mean, it's insane. We've got 2.2 million going in and 32 ETH coming out. So it's a single validator there coming out at the moment. So yeah, the queue wait time does take a bit of time. So it's about 38 days. It was really bad. Obviously, when ETH was really high, 71 days. You can kind of see that. We at one point we had something like 4.1 million ETH going in the queue wanting to stake. And of course, the validated days to stake 71 days. That's come down a lot at a 38. Looking at the active validators, we're currently sitting on 901,000. Let's scroll down to the supply state, a very important number. So we talked about the exchanges coming off, so it's getting scarcer on ETH. The value story for Ethereum is getting massively big, and we're just on the takeoff phase of all that. And now we've got staked ETH going up, so there's less ETH on the markets. Remember, there's 120.3 million ETH altogether, and now we've got 42.3 million of it, which is a close to what 34.68% of ETH is now staked out of that 120 million. And we've got 42.3 million ETH in here at the moment. And of course, we've still got that 2.2 million coming in as well. So pretty crazy stuff. Staking APR, of course, with all the staking, with everyone going long, and of course, ETH becoming more scarce both on in the markets and wallets and in exchanges. We've got the staking APRs come down to 2.67 here, 2.67. So pretty crazy stuff, right? Pretty crazy stuff there at 2.67. But that is the incentive, for these digital asset treasuries. They can use that money, obviously, for multiple reasons there. Pretty cool, pretty cool. So that is our Ethereum, guys. You can see how everything's looking pretty bullish, right? And of course, we've got this boom going on with tokenization and everything else, right? So very, very cool. And remember, Pulse Chain is downstreaming from all that. You guys know it. So very, very cool stuff happening there. Let me have a look here. Let's jump over to, we're going to bring up Pulse Chain now. Let me know your thoughts on all this, guys, in the chat. And if you're loving the content, don't forget to smash the subscribe button at the moment. It's free to do. Hit the bells for future videos. And if you're on X, smash the follow button at the top. And also hit the repost button, those double arrows on the show, to share it around there. All right, Pulse Chain, guys, Pulse Chain. I just want to, before we get into Pulse Chain, I want to give a big shout out to all the teams. We've got so many teams on Pulse Chain building out really good quality projects. A lot of them work really hard doing that. So I just want a big shout out there. It's obviously they can get under talked about, let's say. But we have big projects, we have medium projects, small projects. Some of the small projects are doing the most innovative things out of anybody. So there's lots of different things going on. But we've got heaps of build outs going on Pulse Chain at the moment. It really has been a surgence over the last couple of months, and we know the next couple of months are also going to be very good for project rollouts. So a big shout out to all those guys. They're all different risk return type of projects and different categories, all that good stuff. But we've got a lot of good people building, and man, the UI UXs from these dApps now are just really all professional. They're so professional looking. No more riff-raff, and it's exciting. So big shout out to all the developers. Really appreciate, just on behalf of the community, if I may be so bold, thanks for all you guys do. And good timing now, because the market's on the up and up, eh? All right, let's get into it. We've got Pulse Chain is currently on day 1,199, can you believe it? Or 1 day from 1,200 days. Pulse Chain launched on the 30th of May, 2023. It was a full system state fork of Ethereum on the 10th of May 2023, meaning all the contracts got copied over, including all your tokens, and we've had price discovery ever since. Now, we didn't have a working oracle or anything like that. That caused quite a bit of problem with some of the big protocols, but we've got through all that now, and we're ready to rumble. And we've had, as I said, so many developers roll out quality projects on the chain. So we're in good hands right now and moving forward. All right, so Pulse there is up 5.14% at the moment. In fact, I forgot I was gas bagging so much, I forgot to pull up the old Pulse chart, but we'll do it. Let's get into that. So we're going to pull up Rat Pulse. Rat Pulse there. Yeah, I forgot about printing up the actual charts. That's hilarious. All right, so let's bring up Pulse Chain. Let's scroll down here. So Pulse Chain there is, let's go full screen. We'll get rid of everything here. Thanks for bearing with me on this one. My bad. Let's go to the hourly charts too, and we'll get rid of RSIs. This is the Pulse Chain chart. So we're up at 4 zeros, 14.32. We're up 5%, so pretty good on the old Pulse chain. We'll take that. I think that's well worthy, right? Which screen am I on, guys? Was I even on the screen? I don't know. Let's go back to the right screen. I don't know. This is the comedy part of the show. All right, so we got day 1,199. Pulse is up 5.1%. We're at 4 zeros, 14.32, which is pretty good. Hex at the moment is at 4,100 of a penny, up 4.5%. We've got ProveX at the moment at 4 zeros, 82. 84, up 2.3%. And who do we have in the chat there earlier? We had Sean there, ProveX ready to boom. And there we go. That's, of course, pretty cool. ZK technology, peer-to-peer technology, technology designed to, get rid of the middleman, and that's ProveX, right? It's particularly exchanges is one of the applications. PulseX at the moment is at 4013, up 6%, and of course getting a lot of love from quite a few influencers out there, including Crypto Paradise and others, because PulseX got the buy and burn going up, and it's got to be one of the big plays on Pulse Chain, right? And it kind of I don't know, I haven't compared the comparators, but may have lagged some of the others, but look forward to that. Number one, largest volume DEX on the chain. Ink token at the moment up 70 cents, up 4%. So back there at 70 cents there. So green day on the old Pulse chain. Now, I haven't done this for a while, but let's do the 7 day as well. 7 day, we can see that Pulse is up 24% in the last week. Hex is up 42%. ProveX is up 35%. PulseX is up 44%. So, actually, PulseX has done pretty well, actually, now we look at it from the last week. So, pretty cool. 38% for Ink token. Let's do the last month and last 30 days. Pulse is up 99%. So 2x there. Pulse is pretty good. And we've got Hex up 177%. We got ProveX up 107%, and PulseX 134%, and Ink token up 113%. So in that context, actually, PulseX hasn't done that bad, but I suspect it's going to do even better moving forward. We got afternoon all from Craig Pitt. Afternoon to you as well. All right, so that is over the last 30 days. I don't know, should we do the last 3 months? I know we were on a red there. Oh yeah, pretty good still. So Pulse is up 105%. Hex, of course, up 261%. So big shout out to Hex there. We got ProveX up 82%, and PulseX up 145%, and 120% for Ink token. Those are after the last 30 days. I don't know what the last 6 months. Should we do that? Because we know we had some red months, right? Let's go to that. Bam. All right. So that's taken out a little bit there. Pulse still up 54% over the last 6 months, 145% over the last 6 months for Hex, 6% for ProveX, and not a lot there. Obviously, ProveX new sacrifice, 87% for PulseX, and 71% for Ink. Those are the last 6 months there. All right, I think we'll finish there because we know we had red months before that. So no use going further. Let's go to gas prices. Gas prices at the moment. We got the current beats at 747. So similar to yesterday, right? Kind of elevated, kind of 2x what we normally expect. We got 112 Pulse for a PulseX swap right now, 1600th of a penny. So it's still pretty cheap to do business, but a little bit more expensive than normal. Validators have been growing as Pulse chain rallies. Validators, it's definitely growing now. What's it up? Maybe another 50 from yesterday, something like that. 47,169 validators right now. We got 1.51 trillion Pulse staked. That's the first time we've seen a little move in the stake too. It's got the 1 on there. 1.51 trillion. We've got what else there? We've got the cost to do a staking now for 32 million Pulse solo is $460. How that has changed, right? How that's changed. 2x as we found out in the last month or 3 months. Was it 3 months? Yeah. Last month or 3 months, gone up 2x the price to become a validator. So yeah, pretty cool. Let's go to the bridge. It's kind of our last global metric, and we're at 71.39 million. So we bottomed out at 47. So we're what 14. Let's say 14. We're about $14 million dollars increase in our TVL. Is that right? All right, or 24 million, 24.50. Oh, sorry, 24 million. My bad. What's 10 million amongst friends? 24 million approximately. I think that is above. And if we ever look at the last 30 days, you can kind of see we grew up there over the last 6 months, up and away. So really good stuff there happening with the TVL. Today's results: 355k in, 208k out, and a net of 146,000. Another good day for Pulse Chain with the bridge there. This keeps on delivering. Out of that, we've had 166k USDC in, 110.8. So we're up 56k on the USDC. Wrapped ETH is 57 versus 28, so we're up another 31 ETH. DAI 20k DAI, 5k up 15k on the DAI, and the rest of course is Hex and Pulse there. All right, we have quite a bit of Pulse going on there. Quite a bit. 1.3 billion was it Pulse come into the chain? Interesting. Okay, that's quite significant, quite decent for one. I haven't really picked that up before. All right, so that's kind of the play there. Let's go over. That is the majors, or the what do I call it? What do I say? It's not the majors. What do I call it? A global metrics. Yeah, that's the one I like. Global metrics. All right, so here we are on Pulse, looking pretty good on the hourly there, holding pretty nicely. A couple hours ago, we were up at 4 zeros, 1468. We're now at 4 zeros, 1435. Let's go to the 4 hour. We're above all the moving averages, as you can see. Let's go to the 4 hour. 4 hour, we're moving above the 21. That's very positive, guys. We bounced off, approximately around that. I mean, essentially around 32, and we're up again. So we've got to take out this one here, 1543. That's where we're wanting to go. Let's go to the daily. Actually, no, let's go back to 4 hourly. I've got to do the RSIs. We're down. We're elevated at 62. We've got plenty of room to move, and the stochastics right down here at 33. So we've got room to move, guys. So let's go to the longer time frames, and let's get rid of the RSIs there. But look at that. We've got all the moving averages all the way down here. We've got a golden cross potentially coming up on the daily, guys. So we've got that at the 50 at 9,500. So 5 zeros, 9,500. And we've got the 200 daily moving average at 4 zeros, 1023. So looking really good there, and a golden cross coming up. We've already had a positive bullish cross here with the 21 over the 200. That is currently up at 1138. So we're getting really good support there. Let's look at the RSI. We know that the 4 hour is pretty good. We are elevated and overbought slightly on the daily, but we've got that 4 hour support there, guys. That's looking really good. We're coming down on the stochastic. So good wave back up here. So I think we're looking real good in the charts. And as I say, we've got all these tailwinds, and I think there's big news for the week ahead of us. Also, another prop to the upside, assuming they all go in our favor. I'm feeling good that they all will, but so far so good. Let's go to the weekly for the long-term view of Pulse Chain. And here we are. We've got this target, right? This 50 weekly moving average at 1533. That's 4 zeros, 1533 on the US price. And here we are down at 4 zeros, 1435. We're only a tap away, just like Bitcoin and Ether from their moving averages. We've got only like just under 7% to get over that level. But you guys know we want to head towards 1700. For me, the first wave is finished at 1200. This is my thesis, my ideas, right? Others can have their own ideas. Some of them might be at the same time, but you get the idea. We had a lower high here at 1200, and we had this God mode wick here at 1200, essentially just shy of 1200. And of course, 1200 was a key mark there for me to get over, because we want to beat out this mega downtrend that we've had for over 3 years, and of course 11 months of red candles in the monthly. And this is taking out these lower highs are very important there. So 1200, take out that very importantly there, and that was above this box here, which was the first sign that where the bottom was coming in. Bottom came in only a few weeks later. Double tap that at 5,400, and up we've gone like a cool guy, like a cool guy, or cool girl. I mean, it goes around. But we got 1,700 at the top here on the next mark. Very, very cool. And of course, the RSI on the weekly, plenty of room to move. Elevated at 64, a stochastic high, but we've got that short-term move. I think we're still looking very good at the moment to get over 15.49. And as you guys know, on the weekly, that's where we tap, right? We tapped the weekly already. Was it yesterday or so? And we've only got a little bit to go. But I want to see us go to 1700. If after that, this is kind of the beginning of the first wave for me, and the first wave is a little bit longer, arguably. Now the market might beat out this too. Don't get me wrong. I might outdo this or underperform, but so far we're on track. We're on track. And so if we come back and have a retrace, a bit of profit taking, come back to 1200 or so, worst case scenario maybe 1000. Then we're back, and then we bounce back up and we pass 1700. That's escape velocity, that blue line. And therefore, for me, we've beat the mega downtrend, and now we're beginning a mega uptrend. And feeling very good about that with the macro picture and with where Pulse Chain's going with projects and value, as well as the magic upride potentiality moving forward as well, right downstream from the Ethereum. If you're in that camp, of course, you may not be. But there we go. That is going pretty well. You can see in the chart. That's pretty much it. We've been, following this as a story, so we sort of update it every day. and we just follow along. But so far, so good, right? Looking good there. All right, let's jump over to the crypto volumes. Now, they're down a bit today. We've been enjoying like $10, $12 million, $16 million on the day. We're back down to 6 million here, better than 2.5 to 3.5 million, which was our bear market volume. But we're at 6 million today. 335,000 transactions. Out of this, of course, PulseX V2 is doing 4.9 million. 9mm is doing 571. Another good day for 9mm. SwitchX doing 300. Seems to be, a nice floor there for Switch lately. Liberty Swap doing 200,000 at the moment. I'd like to see a pickup in Liberty Swap. I know they're working on projects, so we should see that in the future. Just be patient with that one. Uniswap is 93K. 9-inch is doing 38. And for Vesta, our new V3 DEX is doing 4,000. That's come right off. But I'm still holding a little bit of opportunity there. We'll see. If they can turn on some of their engines. We'll see. I don't know how that's going to play out. But I'm just keeping it out there on the watch list. You guys know, just one of those maybe type of things, but certainly optimistic there. All right, so let's have a look at the main DEXs here. Obviously, 9-inch with a bit of volume. So most of the volume there is coming through from SolDEX and 9-inch. Uniswap, most of the volume there is from Hex, Wrapped ETH, this Hex dog gains. It's only been out a little bit, and new stable coins there. So mostly stable coins and Hex. Liberty Swap. So these are the four major ones, right? Liberty Swap here coming in. That's with mostly Peacock, Wrapped ETH, PDI, I think, PulseX, Hex there, USDC. Those sort of things are most of the volume. SwitchX, our V4 DEX, automated liquidity management from Brandon. This is mostly Pulse, USDC, Wrapped ETH, Switch, most of the volumes there, along with Richard Cause. Pretty cool. 9mm. Is most of the volumes there. Richard Cause, Wrap Bitcoin, playing into that, and then PulseX should be quite diverse in that. Richard Cause, bit of P Tiger coming in, a bit of a Troper, etc. So those are kind of the most volumes there. Let's jump over to the top 100. Now, remember, nothing's financial advice here. Do your own due diligence, all that good stuff. We go through this pretty much every day. And look, we've got a couple ones here. We've got the Hex Dog's been around for over a year apparently. It's been someone pumped it, right? So 46K volume on 20K liquidity. Someone pumped it there, 172%. I haven't had a chance to go on X and see who's doing all this stuff, so you'll have to do that in your own time. Not financial advice either, but someone pumped it, right? We've seen a few of these lately, haven't we? No volume, and then suddenly, boom, boom there. So, buyer beware, all that good stuff. DevC coin, been around for a while too, over a year. That's up 23% today. We'll have a quick look at DevC. Big pump there, look at that, big pump. Now, I'm not going to go through all the percentages. I just try to do percentages for the ones that are probably more blue chip or around for a while. Wartime at the moment up 9% as well. Number 3. A bit more stable, that one, isn't it? But I mean, it's got quite a range, but it's kind of more stable. The percentages could be quite aggressive against you, though, but it kind of looks like that on the chart, right? PMIP, one of the PDI projects, up 16% at 7.3 cents, up 16% today. And we'll go to the weekly candles, but big week there, jumped from 3.1 cents to 7.3 cents inside the last week, so that's pretty good. On the daily there, look at that, bam, nice. That was PMINT. You put your PDI in, you get P-man out, that kind of thing. Zelda here, Tiger Crypto Dog. I think it's some sort of P-Tiger derivative, is it? Like meme coin on that? I don't know. But 3.8% at the moment. Let's have a look at this chart. Big volume came in. Look at that, 21K volume over 14K liquidity. You got to be in the know, don't you? You got to be in the know. I don't know. Let's go to the weekly chart for that. That's the weekly. Let's auto log that. So it's looking pretty strong, isn't it, from that point of view? But once again, volumes are pretty variable, right? And then suddenly we get 111K volume out of nowhere. Just be buyer beware. But certainly, chart looks good. What else? I don't know if it's safe or not. I haven't done any checks, blah blah blah. So remember, we're just going through the top 100 here. You must always check security number 1 before anything else. Sparta Hex is up 13% here. Apparently, it's got 200 or 300 million Hex. It's in an LPX pool, but it's up 30% today. And then Teddy Bear comes back in. Every so often, Teddy Bear rolls back into the top 10 at number 7 and 8 from James Maria. These have been around for 3 years, I think, 3 years plus, up 11% today. Just having a look at the volumes here. Let's have a look at number 8 with Teddy Bear versus Treasury Bill. And no real big change in volumes, but it does a couple $1,000 of volume a day. Or maybe, sorry, my bad. It does about on a weekly. Oh, sorry, yeah, a couple $1,000 a day. It's about $10,000 to $15,000 a week, maybe occasionally a bit higher, 30,000, but certainly been pumping lately. And let's have a quick look at those percentages over the last. These are weekly candles, by the way. So it's up. It doesn't give me the percentages, does it? But it's up pretty aggressively. Maybe a 3x there in the last 35 days. All right. I have to do percentages myself. We got UFO Hex often up here by itself, up 10%. Let's see what else is going on here. Most wanted, number 11. Most wanted, one of our top meme coins, up 8.5% there. What else? What else we got going here? 9mm, our second biggest DEX, been doing really well with the revenues lately, up 7.7%. Nice to see that. And I think this is one that's probably going to get market maked at some stage. That's a feeling. I haven't looked at the yield that they're earning from the revenue, but the revenue is definitely up. They had a big sell candle there 3 days ago. But other than that, it's at 1.2 cents. Keep a look out for this one. Definitely one of our blue chips. And number 2, DEX. Pays out the revenue to every month to 9mm holders. And of course, with the volumes going 3-4x up, must be earning a lot more there. We're going to jump past some of these scammy coins like Nana. Bonnie, little meme coin, up 6.7%. Number 18, Fire Whale, from one of our 2 big public whales, up 6.7% there. What else we got going there? We got a PGC pair apparently up with a Troper. If it's paired up with some of these winners, right, it tends to move up. And then we've got Peacock sitting in here. Peacock not doing too bad, actually, up 6.3%. Number 22, starting to lift a little bit there, 1.5 cents. The ratio is down a lot, right? So the ratio gets rotated out of quite a bit. I'm not sure if that's going to stay that way, but that is at 1.5 cents. This is the daily chart. Peaked out at 1.6 cents. Suspecting that this will continue to roll up. Let me have a look at the RSI in here. RSI is elevated at 65, but not overboard at all. And the weekly there down at 60. So a lot of room to move there. Let's go full screen on this chart, and we're going to auto log that, get rid of the RSI. And looks like a breakout there, doesn't it, in the US price? Look at that. Boom. So, and these guys are rolling out heaps of stuff, aren't they? Heaps of stuff. Shall we go have a look and see what the biggest project team is rolling out? They have been talking about a lot of stuff. They've been posting a lot of, I don't know, I would call it controversial memology about this is crypto. I guess they're free to do what they want. And let's have a look. We're going to scroll down here. Not really. They're doing a lot of like social media, well, I don't know, what do you call it? Marketing. I call it rebel marketing. They're talking about a lot about pigging, a lot about 300,000 Bitcoin, and all these big things. But they have been rolling out a few products. We're expecting a lot more products coming out. But they always seem that they're definitely getting later with their time zone. So one thing I've noticed, they used to be very much on time, and now they've been slipping with their timing. They are doing a lot of products. So I mean, to be fair, but they are slipping on the times. They are getting a bit later. So I don't know. They have launched a few things around stablecoins and different chains over the last couple of days, and they're certainly doing updates all the time. But the major products are still not rolled out yet, right? So still not rolled out there. But they are doing a lot of feature rollouts, and we'll give them that, right? Give them that. That's important, these stablecoins from other chains. And they did roll out the extension here of VOR 4.1, I think it was yesterday. Release supports LibertySwap v3, so that just rolled that out, so it's cool. They've supported LibertySwap private swaps, so they are doing things in a logical order, right? They are getting sort of the infrastructure in before they do the better protocols. So that's all cool. Support for LibertySwap private swap and shield mode, a new sync method, preparation for gas tank, so that's coming out soon. We're looking forward to that, etc. So they're getting there. They're getting there. All that sort of stuff. So it's going to be pretty good when they're finished. So, patience. What else we got going? I think that was it. So, I'm not sure we got anything else there. What's that? 8 stage? Yeah, no. Now, so that's kind of where they're at. I don't think they've got any launches, did I say? Okay, Mr. Crunch, this is 16 minutes ago. So this hot off the press, guys. Okay, Mr. Was it Cronjay Tech? I don't know. You have 24 hours to join our winning team at Pulse. The time's clicking. So that's the sort of stuff they're putting out at the moment, in between little feature upgrades. Not so little sometimes. Yeah, we'll see. Still waiting, guys. So nothing really here. at the moment that I can see. But they have done a few stablecoin stuff. They did do a ZKX update. But we're waiting for the big heavyweight stuff, man. We're waiting for the heavyweight stuff. Now, in terms of their buy and burn, they turned it off basically because they're going to a 10x, right? I've been tracking the wallets as well. So let's have a look here. So yeah, I mean, they've got. Let me add it up. They got over $15,000 a pulse now on the wallets. Also, almost $700 worth of Peacock, which would be an insta burn, right? An insta burn presumably. But if we got the price at 1.5 cents on Peacock, we're waiting for all the big protocols to roll out. And they got 15K in here. So essentially, they could burn over a million Peacock if they wanted to now. Now I'm not sure what their trigger is going to be. They also got all those other DeFi's launching, expecting at least another 5 or 6 projects, all top tier, all potentially high revenue earners, and of course bring a lot of new tech to Pulse Chain that we could see, them getting a much bigger burn rate relative to the price of Peacock, of course. They've also teased a few other things as well, but it's got more conspiracy theories at this stage around Hex and stuff. But we'll see where it goes there. We'll see what it goes. And pegging, the great pegging, these teasers, right? So at the moment, looking good. I mean, it's looking good. We're just patient for this stuff. They may turn on the buy and burn at some stage. That would be a big buy and burn, wouldn't it? That'd be the first sort of level. Would be a million plus Peacock burn, and we'll see how they go. So far off their contract, they burnt 4.8 million off the Peacock supply, plus the original burn from the beginning of the Peacock. So they're sitting at about 16% of the 1 billion burned so far. So about 160 million. That leaves about 840 million. So, but what you care about is what they're actually burning out of the LPs. They do have one of the biggest LPs. I think it's 1.5 million or so, circa. I mean, I haven't checked it lately, but somewhere in that ballpark. One of the bigger, it's right up there with the Richard Cores, right? They've got a lot of projects connected in as well. So it's a pretty big juggernaut on Pulse Chain. They'll need a lot of volume and a lot of buy and burn pressure there and a lot of projects. But it's all rolling out. The map's there. Just have to be a bit more patient until they've done it. So that is it on there. All right, cool. Let's go back out of the charts here. We covered Peacock and Liberty Swap. What else have we got? Vouch, our number one public validator, up 6% today. That's kind of cool. Let's have a quick. They don't have a lot of volume going through there. Bit of a pickup in volume today. I'm a big fan of Jex's. I mean, he does amazing stuff there. Kind of got $1,000 volumes here on the dailies. Occasionally it gets a bit better, like these days here. But the chart, all you need is more buying than selling, right? Is that right? Am I right or am I right? How's it go? Am I right or am I right? Something like that. Can't quite do it properly, but there we go. So up and up on the chart. Can't complain about that. I know Jex is not complaining about that. He's pretty happy. But 1.3 pulse per vouch is now 1.78. So slowly creeping up there, and the US price there. This is on weekly daily candles, and it's just creeping up there. So it's a good one. What else? Let's jump up here. Unity from Cryptographics just had its 1-year birthday. Happy birthday to Unity. Happy birthday to Cryptographics. But that's up 5.8% today. I think it was on the top of our charts yesterday. Sorry, that's the 90 is it? So that's up today. Yeah. What else there? Curve, so-called real estate RWA, but I don't know if it actually works. But that's up 5.5% there. Bateas, our number one DEX aggregator, up 5.3%. Bateas has been talking a lot about competition lately, and so that's what the market they're in. So they've just got to get used to that. Sure, there's going to be some rebels out there, but it's good for the user. It's good to have at least 4 options, right? So what we call an oligopoly space. It's good to have that, right? So, and we've got more than that. So pretty cool. So competition is part of the game. And there. What else have we got going? Let's jump down here. Obviously, Hex in the mix at the moment, 4.2 cents. Let's bring up the biggest Hex pair, number 42 right now on the rankings. Let's go have a look at the charts here too. So we're on the daily. We're above all the moving averages, looking pretty good. Elevated RSI, but not overbought. On the 4-hourly there, Hex at 57, looking great. Hex looks so good, guys. And of course, we bounced off 3,700 of a penny. Now just below 4,200 of a penny. Yesterday we got as high as 4,300 penny, and we've got to beat out our recent high here of 4,600 of a penny. Hex is still looking really good on the daily there, still looking good. weekly. Hex, relatively speaking to some of the other charts, Richard Cause is already up on the weekly on the overbought period. So Hex has obviously had such a terrific run. Was it 7-8x or whatever it is? It is pretty awesome. In fact, we can just do the ruler and do that from the bottom here. From the top. I mean, we'll just take the top. It's a 580% move. So 6.8x. Even at the moment, we're up 525. So a 6.25x there on the chart there. But look at this, we're above the 21 weekly moving average, above the 50 weekly moving average, and we're looking really good. Let's do what you guys love. Let's do a Fibonacci extension, you moon boys and girls out there. Let's go up to here and see where that might take us down the rabbit hole. All right, so we've still got the 1.618 Fibonacci extension, giving us kind of one way of looking at a price prediction or projection. There is at 69 hundredths of a penny. So let's just say 7/10 of a cent, 7/10 of 1 cent. That's our kind of target on there. That would also bring us into this area here where we had we began that waterfall down right back in November 25. Pretty interesting. Now let's go to the monthly because we're already running pretty hot here. The good news, guys, Pulse Chains has got such a bright future because all the RSIs on the monthly are so low because we had 11 red months and 3-year downtrend. And here we are. We're on 46. So we're starting to rise up. We rise up from 39. So if you've enjoyed this big 6-7x since we were at 39, we are rallying now up to 46. So no, Pulse Chains, Pulse Chain Hex has got a big road to run, hasn't it? And it's looking pretty good there. Now we'll get rid of the RSI. So remember, 7/10 of a penny is the upper mark there, and look at the 21 weekly moving averages at half a penny, and that, as you guys know, that's my next target, right? So that's kind of where we are. I think that's pretty comfortable there. 47 hundredths of a penny to half a penny is the mark, and we've got the 4-hour looking good. I think we can make that, right? So that's definitely the plausible one there. Maybe with a bit of easing in RSI and depending on the macro picture, we can head up to that 7/10 of a penny, and the move probably will be pretty fast, right? Pretty aggressive. I think we just need a bit of cool off, and we are getting a bit of that on the RSI on the 4-hour, looking good for the short-term game. So still, 47 to half a penny, 47 hundredth of a penny to half a penny is the mark right now for the target, and that 7/10 of a penny is looking good for maybe a bit of a call off. And if we do have a big week this week, though, it's all bets are off because we can jump to there very quickly. All right, so that's kind of the mark there on Pulse Chain. Let me know your thoughts on that too. It's not just about my perspective, but about everyone's, and then we get a market perspective, and maybe it matches up with the price. What else? Let's jump down here. So this, Hex is in the top 50. We've got Go Pulse at the moment up 4.5%. Doubt Token, another one of our top meme coins, up 4% at the moment. Liquid Loans, our top liquidity fork, up 4%. It's had a good little run, hasn't it? The old Liberty sort there. Oh, it's the 90mm. 90mm charts don't show up properly on my thing. I guess it's the way they set up LP something. What else? Let's jump past some of this. Going to go all the way down. PRUVEX there at the moment up 2.25%. Let's have a look at the PRUVEX pair USDC. Another Richard Core. We have full mode on this. This is the daily candles. RSI is elevated and overbought at 85. So a lot more trouble for PRUVEX. 4-hour there is pretty elevated as well. It doesn't look as good as Hex to me for a move, funnily enough. A daily there and the weekly there is up at 62. So, the 21 weekly average is at 6,000. So pretty hot there. So, Hex, I don't know, Hex just looks a lot better to me. But that is the charts right now. We shall see. All right, but it is down today. Well, it's not down, but it's only up 2.3%. UFO is obviously, we talked about that. We didn't actually. It's up 2% right now. Pump tires up 1%. This Liquid Loans here is probably a bit better, right? This is the one should show up normally. Look at that chart, pretty good. Now, I don't know where we take it from. We'll take it from here. That was kind of the bottom, wasn't it? And let's say, what did we get? The 13.34. Yeah, so we're up a 12x on liquid lines. How about that? Very low liquidity. Remember, it was way down. I can't remember. I think it was like 22,000 or something. We're at 114,000 on the main peer now. 1.7 million market. Remember, 52 million sacrifice. So I know, not good value for money at this stage, but certainly the rally is real. 12%. It's certainly profitable for some people there at the moment. Pulse, largest liquidity fork on Pulse Chain, remember, uses Pulse as collateral, up 8%, up 8% there. And let's go to the website. We haven't been to a website for ages, have we? It looks weird. What have they done to the website? Looks weird. Let's go to the DAP. I was hoping, do they have the analytics available anymore? Oh, well, the analytics, but maybe they force you to log on, which I don't do, right? So none of the stats are coming up here. What the hell? They used to have it, I'm sure. Analytics page not even loading up. Oh well, we'll have to move on. I might have to preset that on something else. Preset it up. All right, so that is liquid lines. Certainly can't argue against that. You know, we saw P Tiger recently with like a 22x. We've seen liquid lines there with a 12x. There's definitely some big gains. We've seen quite a few, 5 and 7x's lately. Obviously Hex in the mix there. What else we got going? We've got Zero Trust here. Zendog will pass to the Peacock trifecta. They're lagging, aren't they, today? Zagging there. Let's have a quick look at those, though. Top Hat also is there from Crypto Coffee. These are all got heavily Peacock liquidity tie-ins. And so let's have a look at the ratio to Peacock. I guess it's kind of one way of looking at performance. Well, Zero Trust there. Zero Trust is doing a very important role in Pulse Chain. It's bringing a lot of commerce type products. So if you want thinking about that for a website, you want to take revenue in or something like that for crypto, check out some of their products as well. I think they're kind of cool there. They also do a bit of news and go out do conferences. So they're doing quite a bit of stuff there for the Pulse Chain. But their ratio at the moment is climbing. Their ratio to Peacock has climbed up about 8.5%. So very modest. That's a Zero Trust. But let's look at the Zendog, the other trifecta. And let's go to the weekly show. We just summarize. This is 9mm, so it's showing up a bit weird. But let's have a look there. 68%. Let's do Peacock. That was US dollars. I don't know where we're going to take it from. July. Let's take it from July. But certainly up about 15%. So very modest gains against Peacock, but less up. And that's pretty much it on those. I think we've covered it all for the most part. P Tiger, obviously we talked about this being up like 22x. It is still up pretty heavy. There's the daily charts here, and we're up 2,300%. So 24x. It's been up 2,800%. So 29x. 29x. It's pretty good, eh? There's two ways of making money in crypto. One is taking a lot of risk on and sometimes just being lucky, and that's getting a 30x play, and that's just at the moment coming off the bottom of the market, right? Number two is doing x's times x's, right? Doing a 3 times 3 times 3. So your one project does a 3x, you're up 3x. You then take that money profitable and you put it into another one that wins and it gets a 3x. So now 3x. Now you're up 9x, and then you go to find another one and does 3x, and you're up 27x. And that's a way to get to 30x pretty much, right? So there's a couple of ways of doing it. All right, so you have to be pretty good at the game, but that's the idea. Frank White, hola amigo. Hey, Frank White, welcome. Hex Freedom. If you want to hit me up in Telegram, the link's in the video description. You can hit me up there. If you get joined Discord, Discord is $12.50 a month. That's a general membership. We have a help desk in there. I think we're the only ones that run a help desk in any social groups in crypto, so it's free to use. Obviously, the general membership is $12.50, and you can join up with that in the link in the video description. If you're watching on X, just go up to the top there. You go through the Whoop store, and you can find the general membership using that. And then we also have Strategy Club, which is just over $1 a day, so it's about $35 a month. So both great value, but the general one, the $12.50 membership, will get you access to using, for me to help you out. Obviously, I spend my time doing a lot of stuff, so there you go. It's a place to go. The Hex Freedom. I think who else was asking about that up there earlier? AI Empower as well. That's something option for you to do as well if you're still watching. Great to see Frank White in the house. So Frank White, if you guys don't know, does PLS Start. It is the ultimate pulse chain ecosystem map. So definitely worth checking that out. In fact, we might bring that up here as we go. That is the PLS Start. That's from Frank White. So show him some love as well. I don't know whether he's got a donation address on there, but you can help him out. There we go. But that is the best map of pulse chain out there. And there it is. Bam. Save it to your favorites, guys. Woohoo! Frank White, brought to you. brought to you by Moderna there. See, Moderna bumped like 170% on a potential cancer success drug. And that's good, right? So it's funny that. I don't know if any of you guys know Kim Clements was, but he was talking about that by 27, right? And funny enough, that's we're seeing these cancer drugs come through, which is pretty funny. Frank White in the house there with the big hearts. Nice. All right. So there we go. That is looking pretty good there. So P Tugger looking pretty badass. Obviously, you always got to ask a question about supply, who's supply, etc. You guys know that they hold big bags, as we say, big bags. All right, so that's kind of the play there. How we're doing for time? An hour and 31 minutes. I think it's a great time to finish. An hour and a half. I think we did a great job there. What a big week ahead, guys. You guys hope that you're getting the big picture. Obviously, we're looking for all these to drop as tailwinds rather than headwinds. We've got the big Scott Bessent Treasury bond market, next economic wave on Iran, the impact potentially on oil prices. So we've got that coming out in about 15 hours, approximately 2 p.m. Eastern. And then, of course, what else we got going there? Hex Freedom. You're gonna have to go through the paid thing, I think, there for that, man. I got lots of people asking me all the time for helping out stuff, so it just takes up my time. I've got a lot of stuff to do today, working on a lot of different projects. So probably best to go through Discord, or you can join Telegram, but it just depends on the difficulty of your thing. The guy that used to do the Hex stuff in Discord is now gone too. All right, so not gone, but not doing that anymore. So yeah, that's kind of where we are right now. What else are we going to say? Yeah, looking pretty good for the week. We got so that's Monday, so it's coming up in about 15 hours. What else we got? We got on Wednesday, we've got Nvidia coming out with the results. Big deal, right? Number one, MagSev at 7, the big anchoring of the value of SP 500 NASDAQ at least. And then Thursday, we've got the core PCE data, the inflation key measure coming up there. We've got the Jackson Hole as well coming out with the chair president, Chair Walsh. It's a lot of big stuff, right? A lot of big stuff coming. This week is huge. Just like last week was huge, this week's huge as well. Awesome stuff. All right, take care, everybody. Hex Freedom, if you want to do a donation to the Hex ETH address, it is inside the video description on YouTube. You can check that out there too. Very cool. All right, I think that's it. Big week ahead, guys. May the big moves happen. We continue on in the markets, looking very good indeed, and excited about that. So I'm going to finish the show here. If anyone needs to contact me, Discord links in the video description, pinned to the top of X. We're working on the Monster Thread today. Monster Thread is coming out tonight. Number 68, weekly hottest news. I know MBS Crypto is working hard on that. I will be helping out. And we'll get that out to you later today. In fact, it'll probably be out in about maybe 5.5 hours or so. Number 68, weekly Monster Thread, the hottest news and Pulse Chain. And we're excited about that. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. It's just the beginning, guys. It's going to be such a great run. And make sure you're holding all the good stuff, and you won't be unhappy about that. All right, take care, and I'll catch you on tomorrow's show. And we're going to have a big day tomorrow because we're going to have the Fed. We're going to have Scott Bessent stuff out. We're going to have the digital asset weekly updates out. It's going to be fun, guys. And I just have a good feeling that we'll land another green week here coming up. All right, take care, and bye for now. Where's the end? How do I end the show? Where is it? Here it is. All right, take care. See you guys.